This is going to be a real quick one. I got a new flashlight from Thrunite to demo. So we're going to run this thing through its paces, take it outside in the dark, and see how it looks. Get another flashlight in from Thrunite. This one's the Wowtac A5. It's a cool white LED flashlight. This one uses, I guess this is a 650, is it? Let's see, batteries in this one. This one features a 5,000 milliamp hour. It's a 26650 lithium cell, high performance lithium cell. I'm going to put this battery on my charger. We're going to charge this up fully, and then we'll check out the flashlight. Accessories included, of course, a hand strap and a charging cable that uses a standard micro USB. Micro USB charge port. That's for those that don't have their own battery charger. There's the front end of it. Let's take a look at the specs. So this one's called the Wowtac A5. It's a tactical flashlight. And our specifications are as follows. It's an orange peel reflector, so it's going to throw a fairly good flood beam. It's a working voltage of 2.7 to 4.2. It's aluminum alloy, of course, black anodized anti-abrasive finish. 45 grams is the weight. The dimensions 115 millimeters by 35 millimeters by 32.5. And it comes with all your accessories, a couple spare O-rings in here as well. They should be in this package. And charge cable, of course. And of course it comes with the 2-year maintenance warranty, 30-day refund if you're not happy. I've always been very happy with Thrunite flashlights, and when they offer to send me one to try out, I always say sure, because this is what I've been using. I've been using one of the headlights at work. I've given them all a lot of abuse. I'm always using my Thrunite lights, and they are simply the best ones that I've got. And I've got lots of them here. I've got many of their flashlights, and I've had no issues with any of them. Here's the runtime on a full charge battery. There's 6 different modes: low, medium, high, and turbo. Low, it puts out 30 lumens. It will run for 46 hours straight. Medium is 300 lumens. It'll run for 10.2 hours. In high, it puts out 1750 lumens, and that will run for 8 minutes plus 140 minutes. So it's going to change. What does it say? I guess it's, how do they figure that? 108 minutes plus 140. I imagine it dims down after a bit. Turbo mode, 3650 lumens. It'll run for 3 minutes in turbo mode and 130 minutes in the next mode down. So it's going to obviously dim down slightly after it runs at that high power or turbo mode, because just to prevent the LED from overheating. Say it will throw 234 meters. We're going to check that out once it gets dark. And the intensity is 13750 CD maximum. And its impact resistance is 1.5 meters. Never had any trouble dropping any of their flashlights before. None of them have ever broken. It's IPX8 certified. Single click of the switch turns the light on and off. Long press to get to the firefly mode. Double click to get to turbo mode. It also has a strobe mode as well. Change modes. When the light is on, long press to cycle through low, medium, and high. Double click to turn on turbo from any end, and then another double click to get to strobe. Memory function will turn on the last mode except for firefly, turbo, and strobe. And there's a little light here that lights up under here that tells you whether the battery, what state the battery's in. So we're just waiting for the battery to charge up, So once the battery's charged, we will put it in service and see how it looks, and then I'm going to take it out tonight. The battery is now charged. We'll install the battery. Screw on the bottom cap, which you can see there's an O-ring here. That's what makes it waterproof. Make sure that everything is tight. And our power button turns the light on or off. If I press and hold when it's on, it will cycle between low, medium, and high. If I double click in any mode, it'll go to turbo, which is really bright. And if I double click again, it will go to strobe mode. If I long press, again, that changes modes. And if I press and do a long press, it turns it on in Firefly mode. So when it's off and you do a long press, it will turn on in Firefly mode. Firefly mode is very, very dim. And in Firefly mode, it will operate for 37 days. This is Firefly mode. Firefly mode basically gives you just enough light to see what's in front of you if it was very dark. But the light will also run for hours and hours and hours. Be perfect as a night light pointed at the ceiling, and you've got a battery-powered night light. When the light is on, you can see this indicates the state of charge. When it's blue, your battery is charged. When it goes red, the battery is discharged. We'll do the low. Actually, let me point the camera around into the shop here so you can see what the levels look like in total darkness. Okay, so the little bit of light you see there is from my LED sign, but there's Firefly mode. As you can see, it's very low. My LED sign actually throws off more light. If I put this into low mode, if I can find the button, the only complaint I have about these ones is the location of the button. To find it, you got to kind of feel around it in the dark and fumble around. Some of the flashlights that have the button on the end, you press the button in on the battery, it's easier to figure out how to turn them on. But there's low. As you can see, the low setting, that's it. That's an average brightness that would be great for, you know, doing a walk at night where you don't need a lot of light, but you just need to see where you're going and you want to save the battery. For press and hold, medium is actually quite bright, as you can see, and my camera went out of focus there. We'll put it in manual focus and see if it can prevent that from happening. So there's medium, and if I press and hold, oops, that's low, medium, and high. The high lights up the shop quite nicely. And if I double click, I'll go into turbo mode, and to give you an idea how bright that is, it is bright. All I can say is it is very bright. It lights up the workshop here like daytime. And the LEDs actually are producing a fair bit of heat because it's only been running for a few seconds here, and I'm already feeling it get hot or start to get warm. To compare it to some of my other flashlights that I have, well, it's a little bit smaller than the TC20, and it actually has a brighter light. The LED is brighter than the TC20. And of course, it's quite a bit smaller than this torch. This one here throws a very concentrated beam though, so it's not a thrower. It's not the Catapult V6, but it's also a lot smaller. But it does throw a very comparable light to the TC20 and considerably more light than the TN12 or either of the other two, the TC15s. To give you an idea, I'm going to fire these up in the workshop here just so you can see the difference between them. And I'll tell you what you're looking at. I'm going to put them all on high, and we're going to shine them across the shop here just so you can see the difference in the pattern that the different models will throw. So to start, I'm going to start with the TC15. Turn out the lights here. I'm going to start with the TC15 and we'll work our way through. I'm going to put them all in their brightest mode as well. So there's the TC15. We'll follow this one up by this one's the TH12. and it's different brightness levels. Ooh, don't want that. Yeah, it's got four brightness levels on the TH12. Next one we're going to look at is the TC20. So the 20 is, we're just doing this to compare the size of the beam. So that's the TN12, and this one is the 20, the TC20. You can see it also has a slightly different color LED, a little bit warmer, right? But a bigger light pattern. And if I double click, there's the full brightness of this one, this being the TC20. And now this is the new one that we're going to look at here. This is the A6. Right, there's the A6 on high, and there's the A6 on super bright. As you can see, on the left, the spot on the left is the TC20. The spot on the right is the A6. They both have the same color temperature, and they both throw a very similar light pattern. I'll switch them both back down to high. So there's high on both of them. If I put them both on low, there's low. They're very comparable. Put them on medium. Medium. Again, TC20 and the A5. A5 is this one on the right. TC20 is this one on the left. Go to the high setting. There's the high setting again. Look very similar. And if I double click them both, they'll go into turbo. There we go. Both look very similar in terms of light. The one, of course, I haven't compared is the torch. What is this one? This one's the Catapult V6, which is in a category by itself because it's a very concentrated, very bright beam. By comparison, you can see the two difference. The Catapult A6 is the one on the left. It's a thrower. It's not really so much of a flashlight, but it does throw a very strong beam. And it can go, I think it can go even brighter too. There we go. That's its brighter beam. As you can see, it certainly is brighter, but it's also a very small, focused beam that's good for searching for someone at a long distance, but not so much lighting the place up. Once it gets dark tonight, we'll take this one out to the park and we'll look at some distant trees with it. So here's night performance. This is high power. And go to turbo. There's turbo power. This tree is about a good 70-80 meters from where I am. As you can see, I can't go in the park right now because the gates are all closed. Normally I shoot from over by the building there. So, but here, as you can see, it's lighting up this tree. This tree is only about 10 meters in front of me. But if we look over into the distance, it's throwing a nice beam of light. You can see the beam itself. I hold the lamp over top of the camera. You can see the beam. It's fairly bright. If I zoom the camera in, shine it down the road. As you can see, it lights the road up quite nicely. You can see the building. That building is at least 150 meters from where I am. And as you can see, it lights the area up quite nicely. It's a fairly wide spot, and it's probably down from full power down to high again. Let's kick it back up. Okay, there we go. It's on high turbo power now. There you go. That's a quick look at the throw of this new Thrunite light. As usual, we're going to do a drop test. I'll do the drop test right here. So let's drop it right on the sidewalk here from about 1.5 meters. So I'm about 1.5 meters off the ground. And let's drop it. There it is. And there it goes, rolling down the hill. No worse for wear, no damage. These are tough lights. You see the houses across the street. Again, lights everything up. Thanks for watching.